I wish I had better news. What's up, guys? Andrew here on my channel, GearedInc, where I get to share what I'm passionate about with you. And in my channel, that's PC tech, games, and gear. And today, I want to make some content basically talking about these new Nvidia pricings and why that's not going to remain the same. You guys who watch my channel regularly know I haven't been making content due to personal family stuff going on, but this is something I have a little bit of insider information on, so I wanted to share it with you. So unless you've been living under a rock, you know the new RTX 4000 GPUs are going to be hitting market starting with the 4090 on October 12th. All of the major tech tubers have gone over the main talking points of this, and so I'm actually going to link some of the best videos if you want to kind of do deep dives and all this information. But what you need to know is Nvidia is claiming 2 to 4 times performance. That's not true. That's with ray tracing. That's not raw FPS numbers. They're essentially also talking about a lot of other integrated things that I do care about, like DLSS 3.0, which looks like it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Now, while pricing is one of the biggest points of contention with these new GPUs, I'm here to tell you it's going to get worse. So I work for a company that builds PCs. I can't say which one, but one of the things that's been interesting is as a company, we haven't actually been able to release pricing for these GPUs. Now, why would that be when the MSRP from Nvidia has already been stated? They've already come out with pricing for these GPUs. Well, that's because they retain the right to most likely raise these depending on the level of demand. It's this type of relationship, which is why EVGA is no longer making GPUs, because they felt abused due to not just the lack of communication from Nvidia, but by having to raise their costs to make Nvidia GPUs be the cheapest option if you're talking about the Founders Edition. Now, remember that it wasn't that long ago that the Founders Edition card was the premium option. It was actually more expensive than the entry-level Atom board partner cards that you could get, unless you were talking about things like the For the Win version or like the ROG version from ASUS, which were considered more premium. But again, the whole point of this video is Nvidia is not letting us actually say the price of the GPUs, because in their mind, they're going to be able to charge more. They think the demand is going to be higher, despite the fact that they have said that they're going to have far more availability when it comes to these GPUs. Every generation of new release, it's the same cycle. They get sold out on day one within a matter of minutes. People list them on eBay and mark them up to make more money. Nvidia reacts to this new pricing by readjusting the pricing of their GPUs, seeing what people are willing to pay for them. And that's exactly what I think is going to happen this time. I think we're going to see the initial release of these GPUs at MSRP, and then what you're going to see is an adjustment of that, maybe by $100, $200, $300, depending on what the demand looks like in the secondary market. And here's the thing, Nvidia completely understands this because they watched the secondary market very closely, and during the pandemic, people were paying 2-3 times the MSRP of these GPUs, not just because they were using them for mining rigs, but because there were gamers and people who simply wanted or needed a new GPU and had no other choice. And unfortunately, even though you have AMD coming out with some new GPUs themselves, I simply believe the technology for Nvidia, specifically DLSS, is so good compared to what AMD has to offer that unless AMD comes in at a lower price point or offers software that is just as performative, most people are going to stick with Nvidia. Arc is a footnote in all this. Their GPUs have had nothing but driver and hardware issues, since they've been basically shown in the market. And when they do finally come available for purchase, they may fit a niche on the lower end of the spectrum. But most people, I would assume, would either pick a comparable RTX card or AMD card, with Intel not being able to prove itself yet, except for maybe the odd person who wants to use like their A1 encoder. So guys, I wish I had better news, but this is something I wanted to kind of let you all know because it's what I hear around the water cooler. The pricing of these GPUs is not settled. It probably is going to get worse. I wish I had better news, but that's unfortunately what I foresee happening. Anyway, guys, I wanted to make content. Man, it feels good to make a video. It's been a minute. If you like this, leave me a thumbs up. If you thought it was terrible, leave me a thumbs down. Remember to get subscribed, hit the bell icon so you know when these videos drop next. When I hit the ground running with making content again, we are going to do giveaways, but I'm going to essentially niche down to either tech news and benchmarks rather than product reviews. I really want to kind of solidify what this channel does, but obviously it's just a matter of what I have time to do. So whatever is going to fit my new schedule with all the different live things I have going on, that's what I'm going to work towards. But it does feel good to make you guys a video, and I hope to see all of you next time here on GearedInc.